What is going on YouTube? Hit back making another brand new crypto TV episode. Hopefully you guys had a great Super Bowl Sunday. Lots of interesting things to go over in today's episode, specifically in the fact that we're starting to hit a bit of turbulence as expected because most of the major cryptocurrencies were becoming overbought. Specifically, you can see Bitcoin is extremely overbought, and this is looking at the daily charts right here. After seeing an explosive rally to the upside, that was the easiest, literally the easiest cryptocurrency to capitalize off this runs. We had numerous and multiple confirmation support levels here. The first one obviously being that we were tracking a symmetrical triangle, and the second that we broke out of this right here, which you can see on the daily, was an opportunity to buy in. And once we confirm closure above this beautiful symmetrical or sideways channel here, was another opportunity to buy in, and you can see the explosion that it had, very similar to the past here. You can see we actually reached the same level of resistance right at the top here, and right after we did that, we came crashing down, and we're almost expecting that same thing to happen too. So now, if you did miss out on the run to the upside here, you might still be in luck, as we have the capabilities of shorting to the downside, which opens doors of doing the same thing. So if you missed that on the run up, you still have an opportunity to capitalize on the scale and the way down, which is very exciting. You can see Ethereum has definitely made some leaps and strides to the upside here, back above a solid support level. Solana kind of retesting that as well. It could also see a bit of a dip. However, this ideally is definitely a good sign, as we could start to slowly head back to the upside here. We'll also be looking at XRP, which is slowly coming back down as well. And this is kind of something I figured, mainly because all the other cryptocurrencies would more than likely influence XRP, and now we're starting to see these cryptos dip a little bit lower as well, and that's something we're going to have to talk about here. Now, with all that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump right into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, yesterday we made a video basically talking, or a couple of days ago, we had on Saturday, I made a video saying last chance to get in, and this was in reference to the fact that crypto was starting to peak. This was Friday here. We started to have a bit of resistance up top, and then I made a video on Sunday talking about the fact that there's a good chance we're about to drop in the market here. For the many days now, we were actually calling the bullish run to the upside here, seeing a golden cross form many days ago, referencing the fact that there's a good chance we're going to see a pump to the upside here, which is exactly what happened. You can also see we were tracking the symmetrical triangle, filling in the gap, retesting moving averages. Breakout finally started to happen. I said it was the calm before the storm just 4 to 5 days ago here. We mentioned it briefly that this kind of, as we move closer to the halving here, we should see a rally to the upside. And typically as we get to the halving is higher, and then we usually break upwards here. And we also made a video, towards the end of this episode, we talked about the breakout happening. Then you can see a couple of days ago, we referenced the break to the upside already happening, last chance to capitalize off the run, and then how we are starting to hit that top. We're at the peak, and there's a good chance we're going to start to plateau and correct to the downside, which was in yesterday's episode. You can see quick refresh reveals most of these cryptocurrencies are still doing well. That actually reminds me that most of these trades that we make is on BidFi, which is the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use on the channel. BidFi is currently offering a way for users to get $100 in free cryptocurrency. Literally completing your first deposit and trading can get you 100 USDT. So if you've signed up in the past or you haven't signed up just yet, if you make a first deposit and trade, you'll earn free crypto, 100 USDT. Make sure to check it out down in the description below. You can also scan the QR code ASAP. Anyways, diving back in, Bitcoin for the week is up over 10%. A lot of these other cryptocurrencies are also up and doing incredibly well as well. Now, moving forward, you can see Bitcoin isn't doing too bad. A lot of the cryptos are consolidating at the moment. If not, we're down about 0.6% here. This makes sense. As we've said, lots of consolidation ends up happening on the weekends anyway, which is what we're experiencing now. And then typically, we're going to start to dip because we're overbought. That's my thought here. Now, I want to start with XRP. I really do, but I'm not, for numerous reasons. We're going to start with Bitcoin first, and so definitely hold out. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, then definitely hold out. But the reason I want to start with, XRP, then hold out. But the reason I want to start with Bitcoin is because this is the main influence here. This is the main crypto that had the rally that sparked every other cryptocurrency to start to pump to the upside here. This is the culprit here. There's nothing else. It was Bitcoin to do with it, solely Bitcoin. And the reason we're starting to see consolidation is because if we start to dip downwards here, we start to pull back down like this, we are going to see correction within XRP. We are going to see correction within Solana, and we are going to see correction within Ethereum. That all depends on how Bitcoin wants to pan out. And honestly, things are looking more towards a correction than anything else. The 4-hour charts reveals us slowly settling off, which is definitely a good sign here. Whether we're actually forming any sort of pattern is definitely up for debate. If we jump to the hourly, we might get a better overview. You can kind of see there's some sort of, it almost looks like a bull flag forming. Quite interesting, if you ask me, to see how this is starting to trend outwards here. So we'll see if this ends in a breakdown or a break up. But regardless, my main focus is the fact that on the daily charts, not only are we overbought, we're overextended, and we're quite a bit up there. You can see here pretty much when the opportunity to buy in was once we confirm closure on the 2-hour or 4-hour chart outside of this resistance here. You can see we were tracking a massive symmetrical triangle forming here. So once we saw confirmation closure above this downtrend, which we've had a lot of trouble breaking through, you can see once we got that confirmation, that was the key buy-in opportunity. Then we had another opportunity, which was once we started to trend outside of the sideways channel here. You can see this is kind of the box here. This is the channel we've been dealing with. And we've been in this for quite some time. We also discussed if we have an opportunity to break through that usually results in a rally to the upside. Well, same exact thing happened. You can see clearly that we're at the same resistance as we were at before. And what happened after that is we corrected, and there's a good chance the same exact thing's going to happen. So there does open up opportunity for a short to come, because typically what goes up must come down, and because we exploded so aggressively and so quickly here, that typically what happens is reversals back down at least support, which is most likely going to be right around 46 or 44K, which opens up an opportunity to short this in the very near future. How do we do that? Well, on BidFi, of course, silly. BidFi, like I said, #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use. You can buy long, sell short, leverage trade, create stop losses, take profits, anything and everything you'd like to do or trade on BidFi is offered here. You can do all the cryptos that you would, pretty much the main ones that we talk about here on the channel, and then tons of altcoins as well. Now, not only do they have a way to trade these cryptos, but they also have a way to earn free cryptocurrency with over $2,000 in rewards, literally in all these different tasks that you can complete ASAP. Beyond that, they also have Bitcoin right here, and you can see, beyond that, they also have a demo account, which lets you trade around with, Monopoly money, $50,000 to be exact in Monopoly money. Test your skills, get familiar with the platform. Then when you're ready, you can obviously switch over to the live account right here. So definitely make sure to check that out ASAP. And now, as you guys know, pretty much my belief and thought with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin here, that now has a play, or it's going to have an effect on XRP. We did recently just break outside a beautiful descending fractal here, forming on XRP's relative strength indicator. This is definitely a good sign. And as much as I do believe we're going to continue to trend higher, there is still a good chance that we could correct a little bit more before doing that. We could do something like this, but ideally a move up to here in the long term is truly what I expect to see happen. It just might take a little bit longer to get there. So that's something you're going to have to pay attention to and keep an eye on here. Truly, I believe this consolidation with the breakout was anticipated and expected. We did recently just get above the kind of that buy-in opportunity, that trigger price that we had here. But with other cryptos like Bitcoin, and this is the main focal point, with these other cryptos starting to slew or correct downwards here, there's a chance that that is going to manipulate the XRP price, and it could cause correction as well. However, we're holding well. We're doing good. This week will be a good determination. But I do think if we don't dip, or we could, I do think it is ideally in the long term going to swing us up, because we are still in a massive, and I mean a massive bull flag, which typically sees swings to the upside here, and that's what I would expect to see happen. Now, moving on to Solana, very similar reason. We had a beautiful bull flag forming here. These typically break to the upside like we did. You can see the consolidation that took over. There's a chance that same thing could happen here. Something like this is definitely a possibility, that a small correction to the downside followed by a run to the upside is definitely a big possibility. just like this. We could see some sort of swings like this. That could ideally form another flagpole, and then that could inevitably crash us or correct us to the upside here. But there's lots of things to happen now, but short opportunities are definitely big right now. Specifically on Bitcoin is my main focus right now, as a lot of these other cryptocurrencies would be time to get out. You know, you're probably going to get stopped out at some point, but definitely take profit here. You can see the breakout that we had on Ethereum as well, setting us up quite a lot into the double digits in regards to the breakout here. That is not what I wanted to do. You can see right here, the price range breakout took us about almost 10% to be exact. And with that, we're probably going to see some correction to the downside here, but I think we're going to hug this uptrend, which is quite exciting. You know, moving average is heading up. It's pushing us up, and there's a good chance we're going to start to rebound up like that as well. So I'm excited to see kind of the results of a lot of these major cryptos. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.